Hello guys and welcome back to the channel, and for a slightly belated what I watched last week. It is half term here in the UK and Ireland at the moment, so the kids are off school all week, so I have been busy. My son is at his friend's house today and it gives me a chance to get my Game of Thrones video put together from our visit to the studio tour, which I hope to do this afternoon, and to get my what I watched done for this week. And there's not much on it this week, folks. There are only I think about 4 movies and a couple of series, so let's get into what I watched this week. Okay, I think the last thing we spoke about was Deadly Cuts on the 5th of February. So we're moving on to the 9th. This is Superhost. So this is an interesting little movie. You can see down there below people's scores for that one. This is about a couple of travel vloggers that travel to different like B&Bs, hotels, staycation places, vacation rentals, and they sort of like review them, I suppose. It's very sort of upbeat, it's very hip and young and trendy and all this stuff. And they encounter a particular renter who is a little bit more than she seems. She is the super host in this actual movie. This is found footage style because they are recording for a vlog. It is low budget, not like scraping the barrel low budget, but there's nothing like massively high budget here. There are a couple of little practical effects which are really effective as far as I'm concerned. Barbara Crampton makes an appearance in this. She's not in it for very long, but she has got a part in it. I thought this was refreshingly decent. It won't appeal to everyone. It is a horror. I can't go into any details as to what happens. Basically, this woman is a psycho. I think that much is self-explanatory from the tagline, with a host that will do anything for a good review. So yeah, I would recommend this one. I thought it was decent. You can see people below have all given it decent scores. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I would say I think it will probably just appeal to horror fans. It won't appeal to people that sort of like dabble in horror and watch the bigger budget things, but it will appeal to people that just generally all round like a horror movie. On the 12th, I watched Sing 2. I do love animations. I make no apologies for it. There you can see some. Florentina really enjoyed it, gave it a 4. Austin Burke a 3.5. Dan 3.5. So you can see other people's viewpoints on it there. I think I actually gave this a 4 also. Yep, I said nauseatingly sweet and toe-tappingly good. If you get through this without singing, I have no words. Loved every minute. And yeah, that's what I thought of it. I preferred it to the first one. I do like the first Sing movie. I do like movies with like a little catchy tune in that you can sing along to. It was just heartwarming, it was sweet. I enjoyed it, what can I say? So I gave it a 4 out of 5. On the 13th, I watched The Ledge. Okay, so this is a new one. I'll say it's similar in vein to the movie Revenge. I think it was called Revenge, where the girl is trying to get away from these guys intent on killing her in the middle of like the desert. This is a movie about 2 girls that go... Let me just read this for you. A rock climbing adventure between 2 friends turns into a terrifying nightmare. After Kelly captures the murder of her best friend on camera, she becomes the next target of a tight-knit group of friends who will stop at nothing to destroy the evidence and anyone who will get in their way. So, these 2 girls go on a group hiking event. They run into these lads. They sort of have a few drinks. They get to know one another. One of the lads pushes it a bit far with one of the girls, and it culminates in her death. Now, the friend of the other girl witnesses this and records the end of it on camera, and the whole movie is about these guys trying to basically kill her and get the camera off her. It's all set quite high up on a ledge on the side of a cliff. If you are in any way frightened of heights, which I am, it's a bit, you know, squeaky bum time. The old legs are a quiver for me when I watch anything that's set really high up. So it's not very popular. I'm looking there, Movie Worm 2.5. I have to click on some of these people to see who they are. Oh, that's Monty, gave it a 3. 1.5. I thought it was okay. I gave it a 3. It was a perfectly watchable little horror movie. Some of the acting in places, there's a few bits, especially when the main bad guy in this gets really irate and shouts, it does appear very strained. You are aware that he's acting, and you should never be aware someone's acting. It should feel real. So I will say certain bits of dialogue and certain little bits of acting are a little bit iffy, but I think it's a solid enough movie. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Sorry, I didn't. I gave it a 3 out of 5. On the same evening, now, I was halfway through this before I realised I'd seen it before. I was watching Screen Stars channel, Aaron, a while back, and he spoke about this movie. It's a found footage movie. Anyone that knows me will know I'm a big fan of found footage style movies, and he's talking about this and I'm thinking, this sounds really good. Why have I not seen it? 2015 found footage. I can't believe I haven't seen this. Halfway through, yes, I've seen this. So, on Judgment Day, hell shall inherit the earth. When a couple of American young adults fly to Israel to visit the city of Jerusalem, a biblical nightmare falls upon the city. Let me bring it down to, there's only 2 people there that have scored it. So these 2 girls basically are planning on going one place. They run into a guy in a car from the airport. He's going to somewhere else. They decide to go with him just on the spur of the moment. Oh, well, we'll come with you. And all sorts is kicking off in Jerusalem. There are evil entities, there is aspects of possession here, but a lot more than that. The special effects in this are amazing. I felt it was a really solid little film. I really enjoyed it. I liked the characters. I felt they were well, although they really did irritate me in places, but they were meant to. That typical woman making every wrong decision that could possibly be made and screaming lots that just annoys the arse off me. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun, fast enough moving, enjoyable horror movie with some really decent creepy effects. It is found footage. If you don't enjoy that, it might not be for you. But I think if you do like found footage, this is one of the better ones. And I just, there are little bits that will have people eye rolling and like, oh my god, but it's a horror movie, it's found footage, it is going to be a bit far-fetched. It is far-fetched where we end up with this. I personally really enjoyed it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Okay, so we've only 2 things left. The next one is Pam and Tommy. Now, I can't talk about this in full because it hasn't finished yet. That's just scrolling down so you can see. Oh, Sean was not a fan, 2.5. There are, I believe, 7 or 6 episodes of this have aired already, so I haven't seen the rest. I haven't seen it in advance or anything. This follows, obviously, the infamous sex tape between Tommy Lee from Motley Crue and Pamela Anderson. I did look a lot into the background of this after having watched what I have watched, and they are pretty much on the nose with everything that happened and the validity of it and it being true. Now, anyone that knows me will know I'm a big fan of the rock genre. Motley Crue are a band I have seen live. Tommy Lee was my favourite part of that. I feel he's got more charisma than any of the other band members put together. He comes across in this like a giant doofus. I mean, I have read the autobiography of Motley Crue, The Dirt, which is an amazing read. They did make that into, I think it was a series, which really they left so much out. It was so much more debaucherous than what they put across. These guys were just mad. But I've always known that Tommy Lee was a bit of a loose cannon, a bit crazy, a bit, doing things like Kickstart My Heart is a song by Motley Crue written about when he had to have, basically he was brought back to life after a drugs, not overdose as in trying to kill himself, but just he took too many drugs. So, but I was blown away by how egotistical and how much of a twat he is in this. I don't know whether it's going to redeem itself as it goes on. Basically the people, I'm not giving massive spoilers here, I think everyone knows this. The individuals responsible for leaking this tape are builders that were working on his house, and he sacked them for shoddy workmanship and refused to pay them. But honestly, when you watch it, you'll see what a doofus he was being. And I really felt sorry for the builder, the electrician. I think it was an electrician in real life, a builder in this. Played by Seth Rogen. I felt for his character in this, I have to say. It's not finished yet. I will watch to the end. I'm really feeling bad for Pamela Anderson in this. It's almost like she was a sweet innocent girl that got corrupted by this like mettler dude. Yeah, it's good. It's good viewing, as in all this happened. They are pretty much on the nose with what's going on. I think the performances of both individuals are eerily close to the counterparts to the actual individuals we're talking about. I don't think me thinking that Tommy Lee comes across as a twat is a good enough reason for me to give it a bad score. I will continue it and let you know when I've finished what I thought overall, but they seem to be doing a pretty good job so far. And finally, on the 14th, I watched The Murder of Gabby Petito, Truth, Lies and Social Media. Let me just knock off this recorder here because I don't need it on. So, true crime documentary, I believe, on Amazon Prime, about Gabby Petito, who was quite a well-known Instagrammer who had a very nomadic lifestyle, travelled around in a little white van, which she'd converted, and it was only a tiny little transit van, into a really tiny, like, home. And her and her boyfriend would travel about, and they seemed to have this really idyllic life. But underneath all that, that's not what was going on. She goes missing. Eventually her body is found. Obviously it's called The Murder Of, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And this is trying to get to the bottom of, is her boyfriend that she spent all this time with responsible, or isn't he? Decent enough little documentary, a lot of first-hand footage of the people involved, which I personally really like in a story. You know, reenactments are good to a certain point, but I like to see video footage, maybe calls, you know, voicemails from the real individuals to get a feel. And they do have quite a bit of that, which was good. So yeah, it was a decent little documentary if you like that kind of thing. True crime, I think I gave it a 3 out of 5. And I would recommend that one. So what else have I been watching this week? I have been watching The Last Kingdom. I've just started getting into it. I am on season 2 at the moment. We've watched season 1. So that's about the Danes and the English back in Christ only knows what year. I'm not even going to try and guess. And about the Danes trying to take over the whole of England and England trying to regain parts of itself. And it's apparently really accurate historically. I have a friend that actually studied all this in university, and she said, while the main characters are obviously fictional, a lot of the characters that run in the background are real people, and a lot of what they do is very, very close to what actually happened. So I'm enjoying it. It's good. It seems to really want to badly be Game of Thrones, and it's not quite anywhere near as good as that. There are little things, if you're stuff in the background or watching battles, that are really naff. People reacting too late to being hit or stabbed, things like that. But I think the story that's running along is pretty engaging. The main character, which is Utrecht, I think his name is very, very easy on the old eyeball from a female perspective. It's decent. I'll follow it through and watch all of it and see what I think, but so far I'm enjoying it. It's decent. What else have I been watching? I don't think anything massively apart from that, and I'm still playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm one of these people, when I start a game, I have to like finish it. I have to complete it before I move on to the next thing. So basically I'm watching a programme about Vikings and Danes in England, and I'm playing a game about Vikings and Danes in England, so they're running alongside each other very nicely. So I'm enjoying it. It's decent. I am enjoying the Assassin's Creed games, although I believe the older ones are much better, and I would agree that the newer ones are quite repetitive. Once you've played a certain amount, certain scenes or places you visit are basically carbon copies of somewhere else that you've visited in like tunnels and that sort of thing. But it's worth a play, definitely. I've still got Ghost of Tsushima to start. I'm like debating, do I go to it and leave Valhalla, or do I finish Valhalla first? I'm not entirely sure. I have to make up my mind about that. But the next games I'm really looking forward to. God of War's coming out this year, Ragnarok, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to think. I'm terrible when I try and think what's coming out. I never prepare these things before I sit down, so I can't think of any more. I'm a disgrace. The Last of Us 2 series should be coming out this year, which I'm really looking forward to. I've heard we're getting a Quiet Place series later this, or is it next year? And we're getting part 3 of the movie in 2025, so that's all good. I saw at the cinema yesterday, watching Uncharted, which I will do a separate review for, I saw a trailer for Morbius. Now, a lot of people are saying this is going to be terrible. Now, when I saw that Jared Leto was in it, I know the guy's got a terrible reputation. Obviously, he's the frontman of a band. I think it looks awesome. I think the trailer looks amazing. It's combining Marvel with that dark side of sort of vampiric side, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm all there for this. This looks brilliant. It might be naff, but it appeals to me. I don't know, it really appeals to me, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. So I think that is it. I think that's all I've watched this week, folks. If you're still watching at this stage, I will be doing a Q&A sometime, filming it sometime next week. Thank you so much to all the lovely people that have already given me questions. I've never done one of these before because I've always thought, oh, nobody will ask me anything and I'll feel really naff. But so many people have asked me questions and I'm so happy, so thank you. If there's anything you want to ask, get it in before next week and I shall include it. Obviously, your channel will have a shout out there as well because I will be saying who asked me what, so it's a little way for you to advertise your channel also, I suppose. So thank you for watching, folks. I will be back hopefully next week with another What I'd Watched and my Q&A recorded video, and I look forward to speaking to you guys then. Over and out from Lacey Loves.